Hello. Hello, welcome back to another video. Yes, it's dark in here. I'm not stupid. Today is obviously another figure review, and today we have Jango Fett, as per voted upon. How about that word choice? So obviously I'm going to have to break his awesome stance, and yeah, we're going to get into this. So first of all, I do want to talk about this figure a little bit. This is my all-time favorite Black Series figure so far. They really put in a lot of work and effort into little details all over it, including paint, sculpt, how they decided to put it together and everything. It's definitely my favorite. So a little bit of an update. This is pre-recorded, so I have, a good amount of time before I can post it. This is kind of how I'm going to do this a little more often, just because I am so busy with work that I don't have time every week to just sit down and record some stuff. So I'm going to start doing bundles of recordings and editing them and saving them and getting them ready, so that should help keep the quality up as well, so I'm not rushing around trying to record super fast and super late. So the days I get off is when I'll be recording, so it'll be great. But let's get into this figure review. So here we are with the box. Comes in the usual Black Series box. Nothing really extreme. They do look pretty good. A lot of people like to keep them in the box because the boxes are pretty nice. And there's the info if you want to pause and read it and whatnot. Yay! So, a little window on top and some dust. But that's not what we're reviewing, obviously. We're reviewing the contents. So let's dive right in. First of all, we have Jango, the figure. A pretty good head sculpt. It does look kind of cheap with, the painted eyes and whatnot. But it does have a great neck joint. Can look all over. So sculpting on this is really, really good. Besides the head, we got his arms, and everything just kind of looks really good. And they were able to do a lot with this figure because of all of the armor. Speaking of armor, his armor is painted perfectly. It looks like armor. It even has scorch marks and dirt. It just looks really good. While we're on the subject of the armor, we'll talk about pieces of the armor. He's got hoses going to the flamethrowers and the rocket launchers and everything. Like, look at that amount of detail. That's pretty freaking sweet. Articulation, they have quite a bit of it on just the arms. The obvious articulation of the shoulder. They've got a spinning articulation there. On the bicep, they have elbow joints and rotating, cuffing, blah 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 hands. He doesn't have a chest one for obvious reasons, but he does have a good waist articulation with a belt over top of it after molding. Legs have the usual articulation with the spin. The armor obviously doesn't attach at the hip, so it just looks a lot better. And knees, for, they can do the better articulation because it looks good, because it's armor. And then the feet, the usual good stuff. So all of that is good. My opinions on just the figure alone are extremely high because of all of the detail put into just the figure, not just the accessories. So yeah, looks good. The paint on the head is okay. There's not a lot of it, really. So let's get into the accessories. As far as accessories are concerned, you get the usual, the obvious stuff that would come with him. His helmet, first of all, this doesn't move, and it looks great. Here, just a second. We have really good painting on it with scorch marks. His two-tone blue with black visor. The dent is there. The sculpt on this helmet alone is really well done. And probably my only complaint with this is it is extremely tight. You kind of gotta break it in, but something you might not notice. See how his nose is smashed in? That's how tight that is. So that's kind of just one issue I have with this figure as a whole. But yeah, the helmet looks great. It's painted great. Now for the jetpack. The jetpack fits on him perfectly. It looks good. And, it doesn't fall off. It's not loose or anything. The paint job on this is pretty good. You don't get any scorch marks or anything. Or any dents. Have some obvious factory goop going on there. Doesn't look so good. But other than that, yeah. Looks pretty good. Sweet. Now let's get into the guns. So as far as his blasters are concerned, these are kind of a difficult thing to, first of all, sculpt because they're so small. A lot of the times when you get it out of the package, they are pretty much in a smushed state, I guess, where they're all bent out of shape. And there's a lot of ways you can fix that. You can get some hot water, dip them in that, and try to reshape them. Or you can use a hair dryer to heat them up and reshape them. The issue with the hair dryer is a lot of times it can ruin the paint. But, those are pretty much the only options you have. With the figure that only costs $20, you're not going to get, a really sturdy plastic or anything. But these do fit really well in his holsters. Well, if I can get them in there. And yeah. So how do all the accessories fit on him? Do they all fit well? You know, obviously with Lando we had a lot of issues with things making him look small, look thin, and pretty much not fitting in his hands at all. So, with this one, literally there are no problems, except for the nose problem. Guns fit perfectly in his hands. They're perfectly sculpted and shaped. You know, I mean, doesn't get much better than that. Same with the other one. They both just fit really well. On the whole, this figure is a 10 out of 10. You know, minus, you know, the usual problems you're going to get out of box. Misshapen accessories, scratches, dents, you know. It's pretty much what you can expect when buying things from the Black Series. But this guy is definitely one of the best they put out. You know, I don't own a whole ton of them, but from what I've seen and heard from other collectors, this is the figure to own. If you're gonna buy any, this is definitely one you have to own. So, yeah. Yeah. He's a 10. A 10. So I hope this was a helpful review for anybody who wants to know about this one. Obviously, this is a much better figure than Lando was. You know, as good as Lando looks, he's not a very good figure. Accessories are bad, articulation is awful, and he's really disproportionate. This one is perfect. I mean, just look at him. It's amazing. So, I do apologize for my voice. For whatever reason, I must be getting sick or something. But hopefully I was easy to understand. And thank you very much for watching. I actually completely forgot something very important to note about our dear friend Jango. I don't know how I missed this, but getting him to stand is like herding cats. I'll show you. This is pretty much the only stance I could get him in. And, no, no, no. Soiled it.